All right. So, yeah, okay. So there was a take one of this. That was pure chaos, guys. Yo, it was a mess. And also, I don't think it was going to go where I wanted it to go, which was also upsetting me. So I was like, stop. Just maybe stop doing that and then you'll feel better. So I stopped. Yeah, okay. Welcome to a potential podcast with Tracy-lee. This is episode 32. If you count the trailer, 31 if you don't. I didn't remember that. The chaotic outtake that I just did for the past I don't know how many minutes. We did a whole let's go look what episode it is thing. That was also a mess. Also, in the last take, I'm just going to tell you guys about it because it's a mess. I'm going to take things from it, don't worry, the best parts. I'm just like, it was giving WhatsApp voice note energy. I was getting distracted. There was YouTube in the background. It just wasn't working. So I'm like, look, I understand that I'm just creating and letting the vibes be whatever they need to be, but I'm also like, can I have some dignity? Anyway, okay. So this is what's going on, everyone. We are, I recently had a conversation with a friend of mine who is a friend of the pod. She is, I guess, the only fan I interact with regularly or like who talks to me about the podcast. And she called me out on my nonsense and said, please stop promising series and then never finishing them. And then I was like, sorry. Also, as you guys know, it's about that time of the month, honey. Mama's about to get deleted. Y'all, the podcast is due for a deletion, which means I'm going to make content, honey. So here we are. So two birds, one stone. Also because, a lot's been flying through my mind. And I also just felt like having a very, I don't know, if I want to call it honest, little bearing my heart episode. So here we are. So this episode, everyone, is going to be a continuation. Just give me 1 second. Why is this like this? Sorry. Okay. This episode is actually going to be a continuation of our 7 Deadly Sins series. This is an episode on lust. The reason I chose to do an episode on lust next is because I think of all of my struggles, this one is probably struggling the hardest right now. And as I did with envy, I addressed what was going through my mind at the time. So that's what's going on with lust right now. And the initial take of this had me playing sex songs in the background, which was great. One problem, I chose to play them from YouTube, which is also just hella distracting. Henceforth, why we're doing take 2. Not that it wasn't fun though. Chaos. Pure chaos, but it was funny. Also, just fun facts from the music videos that I happened to be watching. Did you know that Kimora Lee Simmons was in the Nice and Slow music video? I did not. But now I do. You know what I'm saying? Now I do. So, yes. Also, geez, Kimora was hot in her time, eh? Kimora was a hottie. She was a hot gal. Anyway. So yes, I watched the Nice and Slow music video for the first time. I've listened to that song thousands of times. And I had never seen that music video before. And now, I know. Who'da thunk it? Anyway, so, the point I'm trying to make is, here we go. The point I'm trying to make is I wanted to make a pod episode on lust because it's a current struggle that I'm going through. I would like to give it a little bit of structure like I did with the last one, but I don't think I'm going to go as hard on the knowledge. So we're just going to use the outline as like a little bit of something going on and go from there. First things first, I also want to talk about how ChatGPT wrote the script though. It's so cute. Like, it's like, listen to the intro. It's like a little hot and bothered. Come on. I was like, yes, girl. Dude, I love that you can give ChatGPT a voice. It's so cute. Anyway. And this is one of the things it says, which is quite interesting. Lust gets a lot of attention because, let's be honest, it's juicy, but it's also deeper than late night texts and steamy scenes. Let's unpack this fire starter of a sin and why it's not just about sex. ChatGPT wa bereka, guys. Hi, Shem. Chetu busy. She's at work, honey. And then wait for it. This is what else she put in the thing. It's actually quite funny. She was like, tease what's coming. We're going to talk about what lust really is, how it shows up, sometimes in disguise, what it does to your head and heart, and how to take the wheel back. Oof. Come on, ChatGPT. Actually, I might just read this, bruh. Maybe not even talk about me. But anyway. Okay, so before we jump into the educational portion of our pod episode, I want to address why I felt lust was something I needed to address. So, as you guys know, I recently moved to another country. And one of the things I had struggled with back when I was at home was the fact that I haven't really done all of the personal things that people would do at my age. Obviously, yes, I know, don't compare yourself. Yes, I'm aware. Power to the people. Yeah, love fix my life. But in a real way, like, I'm not married, I don't have kids, and that's kind of the thing that's happening, like, around me. I needed to move because I actually needed to get away from the people who had done these things. It's not their fault. They are happy. It's my fault for... It's no one's fault, actually. It's just more, if I don't want to be around it, then it's not their fault, you know. Anyway, so it got weird, and that's why I moved. So yeah, but that's not the only reason I moved. It's also just because I was like, what else am I doing with my life? But the point is, it's hard. Anyway, the point is, I moved, and there was just a lot going on with me in terms of what I felt like needed to be happening from a relationship perspective. And it just wasn't. Like, the code wasn't being cracked. I'm like, Lord. And also, let's keep in mind, I think I've mentioned this in earlier episodes, that my only real desire for my life in terms of personal goals, like, you know, personal stuff like kids and marriage, whatever it is, was actually kids. Like, I never really wanted a husband. Like, it wasn't really, like, part of my initial plan. The only reason a husband kind of scrolled itself into the plan is because of the fact that I was like, okay, I found Jesus. And then Jesus was like, you must get married first before you do the thing that makes kids. And then I was like, okay, sharp gay. I want to lie and say, yes, Lord, that's how... No, that's not how I felt. I was like, okay, fine, if you say so. And at the time of making this commitment, I was like, cool. Just need to date somebody, whatever. And then times got desperate, friends. Times started getting a little desperado, a little despacito. You know what I'm saying? I dated a dick as a result, hoping that he would be the person that would knock me up and give me babies. And I want this noted, and my friends will vouch for me when I say this. I genuinely wanted a man so bad that, yes, despacito. Yeah. I wanted a man so bad that I don't even think I really liked that dude. And it's not like, I'm not even saying this like, take the power back, whatever, because he dumped me. And he did us both good dumping me. I deserved to be dumped. And I'll tell that story another day. The point I'm trying to make is, I was so into the idea that it's my time. I should be getting married. I should be having kids. Because I'm due the thing that I've always wanted, right? And like, I was so there mentally that I didn't even think about the fact that I was legit just making this person an insert name here. I just wanted a boyfriend so that I can finally start on the track to getting my babies, which is the thing I've always wanted. The only thing I've always wanted. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, Lord, he's not the best, but whatever. Who cares? I just want babies. Let's just do the little love nonsense, and then I'll have my babies. You know what I'm saying? And the really annoying thing about all of this is the fact that amongst all of these things happening is this man was terrible for me. Well, I mean, he didn't break me. Let's all calm down. I don't think I liked him enough for him to break me, TBH. Like, and this is just me. I'm not even being like, oh my gosh, I'm such a strong, independent woman. No, I genuinely deep down inside know that I was not. Like, I've said this to someone before where I was like, I was the worst to that man simply because of the fact that I was not dating him. I was dating the idea of him. Like, I was with him because I wanted a boyfriend. I wasn't with him. I don't know if I fixed that. I don't know if I've grown out of that. Watch me just killing all my potential relationships, but also you'd have to listen to my podcast first, and that ain't gonna happen because niggas suck. Anyway, sorry. No offense to the people who listen to them. Niggas are great, but let's be serious. So, like, there ain't no way that the person I date is going to listen to this podcast and bring this and throw it in my face. But also, Mudimu's taking his sweet time with sending this person, so let's risk it and see what happens. Anyway, so, what was I saying? I got so distracted. That was so sassy. Anyway, oh yes, so the point I'm trying to make is I dated someone just simply because of the fact that I was like, it's time. I am due my babies now. For me to be the right age to be the mommy I want to be. You need to be the father because you are the person who showed up because it's time. I was a timeline girly. Actually, I can't be a timeline girly anymore now. It's a bit late. Well, it's not late, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't actually be a timeline girly anymore because, like, my timeline is all out of whack. Yo, my timeline was so good, guys. It was clean, brother. It had the right amount of times. It was like, okay, we're going to meet at this age. We're going to date for this many years. And then we're going to get married at this age. Actually, I can just give it to you guys. I don't care, y'all knowing my business. You listen to my podcast and I love that for you. So let me tell you my business. So the plan was, right, what I was supposed to do. Don't worry, we'll get to last and we'll explain why it's all in together. So the plan was I was going to meet my person, right? I was supposed to meet my person at 27. We were supposed to date for about a year and a half. That would take me into a firm 28 and a half. Between 28 and 28 and a half, we would get engaged and plan a wedding, taking me to 29 and a half. Then I would get married round about 30, right? Round about 30. Then round about 30, we would be married for about a year or two. After being married for about a year or two, we would start having babies. So I'd be having babies at like 31. You know what I'm saying? Which means that like I'm old enough to like enjoy, like to, you know, old enough to like be mature about this babies thing, but also young enough that my kids are not going to be like, oh my gosh, like, is that their grandmother energy? Digs, right? So I had this whole thing planned out, guys. It actually was a lot more detailed than this, but I actually can't remember the details of this plan as much anymore, just simply because I had to kill this thing many years ago. So now we're here. I'm clearly not doing any of those things. At that baby starting age that I was supposed to be having my first child, I decided to dump everything in my life and move to another country. So we're on track. Jokes. Anyway, so the point is, and that leads us to why I'm in this country as well. Like, that's another reason. Yeah, guys, that was like, honestly was my big purpose thing. Like, that's what I always wanted. Like, I was like, that's the only thing I really felt like, okay, if I've done this with my life, I've made it. Like, I'm good. I don't know. I've always thought that I'd be a great mother. It's one of those things that I've unwaveringly, sorry, I'm busy coughing here on your ear. I apologize. But it's one of those things that I've always unwaveringly believed about myself. Like, you know how you have a belief in yourself and there's things you doubt and there's things you don't think will actually, like, that specifically is something I'm not shaky about. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of things I'm shaky about, stupid things I'm shaky about in terms of confidence about myself. But that specifically, I'm not. And the real interesting thing is, as the years go by and the things keep going, whatever, I'm like, Lord, if you want this to be a love story written like beautifully, that's gonna need time And you also made human female bodies like the way you made them. I'm not saying I'm not going to have a latlamiki or whatever it is. I'm not saying that. I don't mind. But it's also just like, bro, like, can we get it? Can we get to the part where I can finally start having the babies we spoke about, brother? It's the only thing I asked for. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, yo, like in life, Christmas, I only asked for one gift, dog. You know. Anyway, as for life, Christmas, Tracy, what the hell? Anyway, sorry. So the point is, what? How did we get here? Yo. And I'm not even distracted because of music videos or anything. I went on a tangent. You know when you just have to get things off your chest. Anyway, so yes, that's the thing. Now, the reason... Oh, yes, the reason that brought us to why I'm doing the last episode. So the reason I'm doing the last episode is because it's what's going on in my brain right now. There is an actual scientific reason for that. It's because of the fact that I am currently hormonal. For those who don't want to hear TMI, just skip the next, I don't know how many seconds, I don't care. Yeah, so a handbun is about to, release the Kraken next week. And as a result, for any female who's aware of how hormonals work, that week before, yo, I'm on tonight, my hips don't lie, and I'm starting to feel it, right? That's what's going on, guys. That's what's going on. I know those aren't the lyrics, né? Leave me alone. But that's what's going on. And that week before Shark Week is always, it's tricky, bro. It's tricky. I say that as if it's not currently my life. Right now, guys, a gentle breeze could tell me hello. We're learning a lot about each other here, everyone. I'm so sorry. But you're here. You wanted a last episode? We're going to do a last episode. We're here now. You're learning about me. But yeah, guys, a gentle breeze could say hello and I'd say hello back. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going on with me. A girl's on fire. This girl is on fire. Yo, I'm ready to make mistakes. I'm ready to make mistakes. So yes, that's why I figured this is the perfect time for us to record last, because mama's feeling lasty. Okay. And I have no other way to deal with this feeling other than, telling you guys about it. I need an outlet that won't make me do something stupid, even though, stupid things are calling. Oh, stupid things are calling. Anyway, okay. Let's get into the actual meat and potatoes of this thing. So, what even is lust? Written by ChatGPT. Wait a second, ChatGPT can write. What's this girl? Okay, so lust is that intense craving, that got to have it now energy, usually for sex, but not always. It's about wanting someone for what they give you, not for who they are. Hot dang! Love and lust, guys, the confusion. Now you can tell I don't read these things before I go on to these episodes. I am reacting to my own script. Anyway, but yes, I genuinely feel like I've been in lust many a time. I don't think I've ever been in romantic love, which is bummy, right? Anyway, it's desire without depth, wanting the body, not the soul. It's the hunger with no table manners. Ooh, damn, ChatGPT, you right? Damn, that's deep. I feel like I'm being co-hosted with ChatGPT, and I'm like, say that again for the people in the back. It's the hunger without the table manners. ChatGPT is spicy. Anyway, differentiated from love, attraction, and healthy desire. Lust says, I want to consume you. Love says, I want to see you. One builds intimacy, the one burns fast and leaves smoke. Halala. Okay, so, I gotta throw a little Bible in there. Lust has been tripping people up since way back. David and Bathsheba, Samson and Delilah. Here's a quote from the actual Bible. Matthew 5:28. Anyone who looks at someone lustfully has already committed adultery in their heart. Jesus said it. Damn! That is so true, though. This is why, you see, if I talk it out, I'm going to stop doing it. And I also know why I'm doing it. Like, I'm not just like, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to stop myself. So I'm trying to like talk myself out of doing stupid things. Lord help me. Anyway. But yes, it really is. It's a heart issue. It's more of a like the desire for something without fully understanding what the thing is. You know what I mean? But yes, so next point is lust is beyond the bedroom. Let's not act like it's just about sex. Lust is about the chase, the high, the fantasy, craving attention, validation, and being desired. Whew. Yes. Lust can look like constantly flirting to feel worthy, dating apps for ego boosts, not connection, over-sexualized self-image because it feels like power. Hot dang. Consuming porn and calling it self-care because it's really escape. Ooh. Sometimes we chase lust to feel alive, but it leaves us lonelier than before. Guys, I want to talk about how I'm being read for filth by my ChatGPT script. Damn. See? This is why I do this. You see? To deal with my nonsense, I'm making ChatGPT talk me off the ledge. Lust does to the soul. Oh yeah, so what lust does to the soul and your self-esteem. Lust sells you the fantasy of being wanted, but it doesn't build real worth. Oof. Come on. When we give into lust constantly, we feel more fragmented, not whole. We numb real intimacy. You start believing we're only as valuable as we are desirable. Damn. I want to talk about how this thing is literally reading me for filth, just simply because of the fact that I don't know if I said it in this version or the chaotic one that I was recording before, but growing up, yeah, no, it wasn't the chaotic one, it wasn't this one. Growing up and just, becoming the woman I am today, a lot of the content that I consumed was pretty, like, guys, I was on a steady train of rom-coms. I grew up in a time when some of the most classic and amazing rom-coms to ever exist came out. Do you understand that the 90s and the 2000s was a good time for all media and TV, guys? Anyone says anything otherwise, they're a hater. But it's the truth. Like, all the classic rom-coms, brother, all the tropes were birthed in a time when I was a child and I was impressionable and I was able to consume this content. And then let's just throw in there, just to make it worse, 90s R&B and like 90s 2000 R&B. All of that music was either hypersexualized but also beautifying sex in a beautiful, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, back then it was like the beat, the thing, everything was so smooth and so beautiful. It made sex seem so synonymous with love, so synonymous that I don't even know if that programming can be removed from my mind. I don't know. I actually have no idea. And as a result, I do feel, and this is me just, throwing my own personal things in there, I do actually feel that as a result, there is a level of, or like a big portion of me that thinks that, oh, okay, cool, you like someone, sex is the next step. And it shouldn't be like that, dog. It shouldn't be like that. And as a result, I think I probably constantly operate from a space of lust as opposed to a space of seeking actual love. Especially this little part here where they're like, where is it? It tells you the fantasy of being wanted, but it doesn't build real worth. Come on, bro. Like, we start believing we're only as valuable as we are desirable. Damn, dog. Like, damn. Which is, like I said, very interesting because, oh yes, I did say this in the chaotic episode, like the chaotic version of this recording. Don't worry, I'm literally telling you everything that happened there, just in better order. Like, the truly interesting thing is the fact that as much as I am aware, that a healthy girl, a healthy honey girl with all the mental health and the taking care of herself, a healthy honey girl knows that her value is not found in her sexual appeal. I know that. The minute I like a boy, I am as healed as a broken thumb. Don't ask me why I said broken thumb. I don't know. I just made a choice. But yes, I'm as healed as a broken thumb. Something happens, guys. A switch goes off in my brain. And you know what? I'm not going to take that hit by myself. I'm also like, Lord, we spoke about this, dog. You decided to make the one thing I really, really want stand behind a pillar of love and relationships and sex within marriage. You decided to put all of that behind a wall. Right. So as a result, the thing I desire the most in the world is behind this wall of all the stuff I technically don't really want. But I can't have that without having all of this. So as a result, I now put an extreme amount of value on the wall, because the wall has the door to the thing I want. And now we're here. You guys should see me. I'm like having an argument with a wall right now, literally. But anyway, so this is the point I'm trying to make is I don't know if maybe that is linked to it. You know, when you talk things out, you start figuring out things about yourself. But I don't know if maybe it's that. It's like in my quest for the thing I want, I started like disfiguring my idea of love, because you know, babies are a result of sex. So as a result, I'm like, the thing I really want the most in the world that I love absolutely is having babies. So therefore, to make babies, you have to have sex. And if I'm having sex, then that means you must love me. I don't know. Maybe, guys, this is a theory. I'm literally just coming up with this as I go right now. This is not a well thought out thing. Anyway, so yeah, that's something interesting. And also, as we know, hormonal. My body is about to confirm next week for I don't know how manyth time. How many periods would you have had in your life by the time you're 30? How old am I? Nigga, how old am I? Am I 32? Gosh, I don't know how old I am. Hold on. Let's do the math, people. I actually have no idea how old I am. You know what it is? It's because I'm in a freaking country that calculates age different, bruh. It's very annoying. Very, very annoying. Give me 1 second. Hot dang. Is this right? Yeah, I'm 34. Hot dang, when did I turn 34, bro? I'm literally having one of those moments where you're like, when the age you're turning this year becomes so real. But yes, anyway, so that's how old I am. Damn. I should stop reading this healthy nonsense and go get into some trouble. I'm turning 34 this year. Damn. How give me a whole pause. Sorry, I was today years old and I realized the actual age I'm turning this year. That is so funny. I was legit like, I'm gonna turn like 33 or something. Guys, I'm not joking. Like, my age for the past maybe 2 years has been fuzzy to me. So yes, the big 35 is next year, but oh yes, Tracy, duh. So I'm never a round number on a round number year. I'm always a round number on the next year. Okay. Yeah, so I'm turning 34 this year. Hectic. Dude, and also, just to make it worse, in Korea, you are 1 year older, because Korean age, they start counting from the minute you're conceived or something like that. I can't remember. And the point is, I'm 35 here. God, take me now. I will say, though, the one thing that is quite lovely is the fact that I actually went to this thing. This is a very big side story. It has squat all to do, other than the age thing. I went to this beauty fair thing while I was in Seoul, and they had like this little skin evaluator thingamajig, and it told me that my skin is 26. I was like, how? Yes, it is. I was like, yes, it is. Stop. Anyway, so that made me feel really good about myself. But also shame, guys. I'm not gonna lie. That really is. It's a gift from God and genetics. Well, God created the genetics, so duh. Like, legit. I'm not gonna sit and be like, oh my gosh, my skincare regime is on it. No. Mudimu just sorted me out and gave me like really good skin shape. We're thinking, he hooked us up. I am not even like, I'm gonna give this one to him. Like, which is interesting because I'm actually curious. I'm like, when I get pregnant, I wonder if the hormones will screw up my track record because I've had 33 years of impeccable skin. You dig me? So I wonder if like having a baby is going to screw with that. This is a total side story. Let's get back on point. Anyway, the thing I'm trying to say is, now that I've seen my age, I'm actually just like, I want to do reckless nonsense. I was going to deal with this episode like a grown-up. Now I'm like, screw that nonsense. Deal with this episode like a grown-up. I want to do the bad thing. Anyway, let's be healed about this. Anyway, okay, cool. Let's move on. So, yes, we start believing we're only as valuable as we are desirable. Okay. The mental health element. Shame, secrecy, emotional disconnection often follow the lust cycle. Lust turns people into objects, but worse, it turns you into the collector of empty moments. Damn. Like, you would think ChatGPT has, like, watched all of the podcasts and has just gotten better at writing, because this is amazing. Like, I'm just like, damn. I'm learning so much. Anyway, so then obviously we have the next heading, which is social media, thirst trap, and swipe culture. Let's be real. Instagram is practically sponsored by lust. Filters, flexes, followers. It's a playground for craving validation. Scrolling fuels lust and unrealistic expectations. We confuse attention for affection, dopamine hit of likes and matches versus the emptiness that follows. We're out here confusing being seen with being loved. Wow. Damn. We're out here confusing being seen with being loved. Wow, bro. Wow, ChatGPT, dang, dog. Dang. Anyway, sorry. I'm having a really great time reading what ChatGPT is saying. I feel like I'm interviewing my ChatGPT. Anyway, from lust to love, what's the upgrade? Flip the script. Let's talk about the virtue of chastity, but in a way... the virtue of chastity. I'm actually just going to read what's written here. It's a note to me, but I decided to start reading it, but now I actually just want to read it. So it literally says, flip the script, talk about the virtue of chastity, but in a way that doesn't sound like a nun yelling at teenagers. So funny. Chastity isn't just no sex before marriage. It's the intentional desire. It's a desire that respects. Ooh. Chastity is, I choose depth, I choose respect, I want connection, not conquest. Wow. And then it says, I'm literally just going to read this, guys, because it's so good. What is the point of me not just reading it? Invite listeners to think about, what am I really craving? Is it touch or is it to be truly seen? What's driving my desire? Loneliness, boredom, ego? Okay, so I'm not going to ask you guys questions that I'm not answering myself. So what am I really craving? In my case, I feel like I've already spoken about that. But what is it? Is it touch or is it to truly be seen? I think it's both, if I'm honest. What am I really craving? I'm craving... I think I've gotten to a place where I'm now like quite settled into my new life and everything, and the newness is probably starting to wear off. Ooh, come on, us having a little honesty time. Like, the newness is starting to wear off, and that high of the newness is starting to wear off, and I'm starting to like ask myself, okay, at your big age, like, we still gonna be in a new country with no man? Like, legit, seriously, type of vibe. And I think it's a little bit of both. Where is it like, is it touch or is it to truly be seen? I think it's both. Touch, because, you know, there is a point where loneliness, like, you can ignore it, but it's an elephant that just kind of well, it's not even an elephant, it's more just like I don't know, like a thing that just kind of prowls around you, and like You can ward it away with watching TV. You can ward it away with like doing things and filling your days and whatever it is. But there is a point where you're just like, I just want to be held. You know what I mean? And I had the same problem back home. And I guess, I don't even know if it's triggered by the fact that I'm far away from my people, because it's not that. I think it's just, I felt exactly the same at home. And every year or two, I think I just have to address it head on and say, this is how I feel. Like, I hugged a friend of mine, when was it? I think it was last year sometime. And he's a very good hugger. And I was just like, I was just like, Tracy, stop. I was like, what is wrong with you? But like, I just think it's because it's been a while since I've been touched. Like, you know what I mean? Like, actually, like, touched by a man. And I don't even mean like touched like in like the freaky way. I'm just talking about just being held. Just being held. It had been so long that, shame. Granted, all he did was hug me. It was nothing hectic. But that hug was nice. Yo. Ah, guys, I was going through it. I was going through it. And I just think I've gotten better at obviously just like not looking at it. Because what do you do? Do you just look at your loneliness and say, okay, Chumi, let's sit together and do what? Like, what happens next? You know what I mean? So you just ignore it, because looking at it is just going to make me want to do stupid things, or like make me want to address it in a way that is unhealthy. You know? So what now must happen? So, you know, anyway. So I think it's both. Touch, big one. Just explain that. Truly seen, I don't think I struggle too much with being truly seen. I have very deep and meaningful relationships with the human beings in my life. I have friends who truly see me and understand me. I don't think I struggle with that portion of like actually being seen, but I guess being seen by a romantic partner would be glorious. So I guess that. What's next? What's driving my desire? Loneliness, boredom, ego. Loneliness and ego. Loneliness we already addressed. Ego I want to address in the sense of like, not ego because how dare I not have a person, but it's also like after enough years of being single, especially single in an environment where everybody and their mother is finding love left, right and center, and then deciding this is the person I'll spend the rest of my life with, and then proceeding to get married and have kids in the span of maybe 2 years, while you have been waiting for Mr. Right for the past 7. You get, like, it gets uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Like, it gets slightly uncomfortable. So the point is, like, I think it's not ego from the I deserve better. It's ego like, do I not deserve anything at all? Like, what are we saying? You know what I mean? Because after a while, you go to enough weddings, baby showers, blah blah blahs, blah blah blahs, blah blah blahs, that you start asking yourself, it's not even when is my turn, but am I not allowed a turn? Like, am I not meant to have a turn? What are we doing here? You know what I mean? So I think that's where the ego element comes in. But, you know, we're trying to be healed. So let's read the rest of the things that are happening here by Chetty's script. How to break the lust loop without shame. It isn't about guilt tripping. It's about getting free. Lust steals our joy. We're just taking it back. I don't know about that. Anyway, tips to start. Get honest about your triggers. Boredom, stress, loneliness. Well, okay, obviously we know what my trigger is. Hormonal, baby, hormonal. Curate your digital world. Mute, unfollow, detox as needed. You don't have to worry about that. Actually, the reason I am recording this episode is because I decided to watch Survival of the Thickest because I want to support, what's her name? Michelle Buteau. Right. I watched the first episode of season 2. Damn! When I say I didn't plan it, right? I've stopped watching things that trigger me in that way. But that episode, wow. Like, I was just like, I wasn't expecting what, yeah, no, that episode took me down. So anyway, I watched, the first episode of season 2, and Moody. I was just like, ah. And then I sat there. You know what it is as well? The really interesting thing is I wasn't even like watching it because I was trying to finish all my TikTok. Oh yes, by the way, people on podcast, I have a TikTok where I post all the nonsense I do in Korea because I decided I need space in my storage. So I'm using TikTok as my place to dump like my pictures and stuff. Kind of like how we did with Facebook back in the days for all those who had a Facebook back in the days. That's the only reason my Facebook is still active, is because it has my memories. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is I'm using TikTok for that purpose. So if you want to go look at the stuff I'm doing in Korea, it's on TikTok. I'll put my, like, what is it? My TikTok thingy. My TikTok, what is the thing they call this? My TikTok, Tracy, what is it called? Handle. Being old is a problem. I'm 34. Anyway, but yes, I'll put my TikTok handle somewhere on this thing, and you guys can go look if you want. I've actually just made it public because I'm like, I don't care, bro. People don't care anyway. So it's there if you want to go and watch all my adventures. I take a lot of pictures here. I think it's also just because of the fact that I'm like, I don't want to forget this time, because it was an interesting time for me. Man, it looks so weird. Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh yes, curating your digital world. So yes, anyway, so I watched the first episode of season 2 of Survival of the Thickest. Like, you know what I think it is? What made it worse was the simple fact that, like, she's a bigger girl, and it was just, I do want to talk about the fact that whoever choreographed those scenes did their job. You know what I'm saying? And not even in like a smutty, gross kind of way, but in a like, wow, these were beautifully shot kind of way. You know what I mean? It's not as spicy as I'm making it out to be. People will watch it and be like, it's not that spicy. And I'll be like, look, it's spicy for me, dog. Spicy for me, dog. It's been a while for some of us, okay? It's been a second. Right? It's been a while, okay? So, spicy for some of us. Very sensitive time, okay? And I didn't expect it because I was just like, oh, okay, let me just watch Survival of the Thickest because, you know, it's on my list of shows I need to be watching. So I'll play it in the background while I play on my phone and post on my TikToks. Hi. Lord almighty. Anyway, so I had to stop watching because... And then I realized, I was like, it's so spicy. But also so spicy. Anyway, okay. Practice presence. Intimacy requires being emotionally here. Well, same. Okay, come on, emotionally here. Replace the cycle with real connection. Friendships, hobbies, creativity. Did that already. Bored of those things. There is nothing, like, guys, I actually think I have gotten too good at being single. It's actually getting annoying now. Like, to the point where, for a very long time, a lot of people have just, like, asked me, like, hey, like, do you actually want to get married? And I'm like, yes, desperately. They're like, yeah, but you don't give that vibe. Like, guys, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not sure, just like, do I have to wreak desperation? Guys, is that what's going on? Is that what we're saying? That I need to wreak desperate? Like, it hurts. It hurts. The point is, this replaced the cycle with real connection, friendships, hobbies, creativity. Done it. I have a full-on personality, bro. Like, I have a full happy to be here personality. Like, I am good. I'm done building character. I'm tired. I'm done trusting the freaking process. The process has been trusted. And now I'm starting to think that hoe shouldn't have been trusted in the first place. I said what I said. I said what I said. Because as for practice presence, replace the cycle with real connection, friendships, hobbies, creativity. Screw friendship, hobbies, and creativity. No offense to my friends. I love you, love you, love you. But I have too many hobbies. I've been creativity in different ways. I'm currently recording a stupid podcast, bruh. Like, come on, bruh. Cut me a break. I would like to get busy with other things now. Like getting busy. Whew, guys, I tickle myself. I really do. Pause. The innuendo is insane in this episode. I'm having such a great time. Anyway, talk to someone, spiritual mentor therapists, real ones who get it. Yes, when I ChatGPT. Hey, wangwala. So yes, I'm going to talk to my accountability partner if I do anything stupid, even though I really want to just do the stupid thing, then tell her afterwards. I'm not going to, but don't push me. Affirmation. You are not your urges. You are your choices. My choice is to follow my urges. Come on! I don't know how it is that we were unhealed, healed, and then we're going back to unhealed in the space of one episode. I'm hoping you're having as much fun as I'm having in this episode, because it's a mess. Anyway, you are not your urges, you are your choices. But my choice is to follow my urges. Toxic quote of the day, baby. So the actual affirmation quote is, you are not your urges, you are your choices. My toxic quote of the day is, but my choice is to follow my urges. Booyakasha! Anyway, okay, so this thing says, let's wrap it up. Lust is loud, but so is love when we let it be. Bring it on. Let's go, love. Show me what love is. Please. You deserve more than being consumed. You deserve to be known. Sorry. No, I do deserve those things. Yes, you're right. I deserve more to be continued. I deserve to be known. My problem is the fact that I'm actually resisting consumption. But ain't nobody picking up the manual. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm actually like, no. Read the manual. And then you can consider. In lieu of no line for someone to actually get to know you, are you allowed to enjoy the consumption? Real questions need real answers, kids. Yeah, I said what I said. I don't know how I got so toxic, guys. We were on such a good path. I said I'm hormonal. This is the perfect time to record this episode because I am both the angel and the devil in this episode. But anyway, cool. Next thing. Yes. So ChatGPT gave me a call to action. Do you guys want to read it? I don't know what it says. We're about to find out together. Take one step this week to trade the empty for the authentic. Whether it's turning off your phone, journaling your real desires, or talking to someone you trust, just start. Yeah, I'm going to talk to my accountability partner. She'll talk me off the ledge, even though... You are not your urges. You are your choices. But my choice is to follow my urges. Hallelujah. Sorry. The point is, this girl is on fire and she decided, let's use the energy to give you guys content and to make sure that my podcast does not get pulled off the internet. So this is that episode. Guys, we're back in the series. Welcome to Lust. Episode 2 of the 7 Deadly Sins series. And I forgot which number it is. I think it's 32 without the trailer, 30 with the trailer. You know what I mean. Anyway, the point is, I recorded this. I actually had a lot of fun recording this. I might do another one because, this was fun. Being nonsense and being good at the same time was very much enjoyable. So that being said, this has been a potential podcast with Tracy-lee. Thank you so much for listening. I pray it was potential and I live up to our potential. Okay, love you. Bye.